Well, the Ramblers are here. The #1 seed, head coach Porter Mosier. Student body is represented by Dante Ingram and Clayton Custer. We're going to ask the head coach to give a statement on the game. Then we'll go to questions for just the two student athletes for the Ramblers. Porter, please.
One, you got to give so much credit, actually, to both teams, how hard they played, and to Bradley. We 100% knew they wouldn't quit coming in at halftime. They got a little momentum there at the half, making those free throws, and they didn't. We watched them last night. They got tremendous heart. Brian has these kids believing and playing hard. But so with that said, I would say I love our guys' mentality. They just refuse to quit. They refuse to quit. You look how many grind out games we've had, especially the last several weeks, and we just find ways to win. It's different guys, different nights. That's what's special about this group. In a time when they had cut it and they had it to 2 and we were missing some shots, I think they had 5 chances to stop it, and we had 5 straight stops, and then Marcus got a little separation with that 3. And that's one of the things if you're going to win a championship, you've got to defend even when your shot's not going. And we were on a little drought, but we got, I think, 5 straight stops to not let them tie it, and then Marcus hit the big 3 to get 5 and got the separation.
First question for the student athletes will come from Dave Reynolds right here.
Dante, you guys opened up a cushion there in the first half. You hit some early threes. I know you hit a couple of them. Could you kind of describe the looks you were getting on those early shots?
Honestly, everybody wants to come out aggressive and be assertive, take shots when they're there. And, for me, if I see an inch of space and I'm confident taking a shot, then I'm going to take it. And that's what I try to come out and do early.
Right here, and then in the aisle.
Your coach mentioned, Dante, the mentality you guys had, and it seemed like each time they'd get a little closer, pull within a few points, you guys would hit a big 3 or get some kind of shot or momentum and going again. Just what is it about the team, or what was your mindset to be able to do that?
I feel like this team all year has done a great job of not getting rattled. There's going to be games where, this person or that person might not be making shots and the other team might go on the run, but we know we have to just stay the course, stay with each other, get stops, and the rest take care of itself.
Dante, just to follow up on what Dave said, Bradley had that 7-2 lead and you hit a couple early threes. Then did you find they tweaked their defense to kind of slow you down from getting those looks on the outside?
It was there some of the time, but I feel like I still got some open looks that I just didn't make in the second half. Simply, I got some open looks that went in and out, and, that was that. But obviously, they were making it a point to, stay up on me and not have much help. But, it is what it is. If I have an off day, Clay or Marcus or any other of those guys that pick me up. So that's how this team operates.
For both players, you're now 40 minutes away from an NCAA tournament berth, and that's something that's new for you guys and new for this program, at least for a number of years. What's that feeling like right now?
Clayton, you're first, please.
Obviously that's an exciting idea, but hopefully our team we've done a good job of staying focused and staying with the process and staying one game at a time. So we're going to enjoy this one for an hour here probably, and then get right back on scouting the next game and just getting ready to do whatever we got to do to win.
Dante, same question.
Obviously, it's a great feeling, but, this team for a while has had a motto, no finish line. So, we just want to stay focused and, stay the course and, do whatever we can do. Today is watching film, getting on all the small things that it's going to take to get a win tomorrow.
Clayton, they beat you in Peoria. What adjustments did you guys make today based off that game?
We turned the ball over a lot in Peoria. That was one of the biggest things. We turned it over 20 times in Peoria. Yeah. And then we made some defensive mistakes that we usually don't make as well when we were there. And we kind of just preached like don't beat ourselves and stop don't turn it over and don't make defensive mistakes. And we kind of cleaned some of that up. It was obviously a grinded out game today, so every stop was huge.
Standing up over on the left, gentlemen.
I know winning's a lot more fun than losing, but you guys look like you have fun all game long. Is that really right? Do you guys enjoy the journey together?
Dante, you're first, and Clayton.
Oh yeah, I think this team obviously there's been a great vibe all year. You know, we love being around each other. We love playing with each other, and you know, you got to have fun with it. You know, obviously we all have a laser-like focus, but at the end of the day, we know that if we're out there, you know, playing with intensity, playing hard, doing what we need to do, then you know, it's fun winning, and that's what we've done all year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. He answered it. Yeah.
Clayton, now a different question for you. The last 2 games, what were those like for you? Because obviously the numbers don't look very good.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I mean, that like Dante said, I mean, it can be any guy, any night for our team, and I struggled yesterday. I thought I came back and played a little bit better today, but the thing is that our team picks each other up so well, and I mean, that's what we are. We're a team, and everybody picks each other up, and we move the ball, we share the ball, and we're so balanced, and I think that's what makes us a good team.
All the way in the back.
Guys, you know, so first half you had, I think, 10 assists, 2 turnovers. It's just very well played, and it makes me want to know, you've been around the program, especially you, Dante, for the full amount of time. How has your coach improved? I'm sure you guys have improved as players, but what have you seen in your coach that has impressed you as, you know, ways in which maybe he's hitting a prime?
Dante?
Well, obviously, Coach puts a big emphasis on taking care of the ball. We didn't really used to do this my last few years, but I think this year, obviously, we had a motto of doing things that we ever done before. And this year, we started doing a lot of game goals, like, you know, over 15 assists and less than 10 turnovers. Because we know that if we do that, there's like a high percentage on the stock guys that do those statistics for us that we come out with a win. So just taking care of the ball and, you know, obviously we're going to turn the ball over. That's part of the game, but we just want to limit those numbers and get as many possessions as we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a question here? Okay. And 2 over here. Go ahead.
Where'd the no finish line motto come from, and when did you guys start saying that?
I think it was a month or 2 ago. Coach came up with it. Just this team, we know we've done a great job of, you know, putting wins in the bank and even, you know, putting the losses in the bank. But I think that we've just had a laser-like focus that's helped us realize that, you know, we don't have a finish line. We don't have a limit that we can get to. You know, we think we can go as far as this team will take us, coaching staff will take us. So, you know, we just want to keep winning and just keep going. We don't feel like, oh, you know, tomorrow's going to be the last game for us or the game after that. We feel like if, you know, we do what we need to do, we can play and beat anybody.
Dante, you're from Chicago. When you look at where this program is now, 1 game away from the NCAA tournament, think back to when you were a youngster, even younger than now. Was Loyola basketball a factor? Was it something anyone ever thought about in Chicago then?
I mean, obviously, you know, when you're a small kid, you see all those teams like Duke and North Carolina on TV. But, you know, as you get older, you start seeing programs. For me, I seen Loyola, and I seen myself fitting in the system, seeing coach's philosophy, and I loved it, the spacing and everything. And I think that, you know, we've done a great job of, you know, just getting better every year and, you know, just improving the culture and, you know, getting things better. So I think for kids now, they're starting to take notice on that, especially Chicago area kids. They're starting to take notice, and I think that, you know, more city kids start coming in. This last year, our freshman group, we got Lucas Williamson, Crowick, and Christian. So, you know, more Chicago kids are starting to come in. I think that guys will take notice of it. Yeah.
Anything else for the student athletes of Loyola? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. You're dismissed. We will see you tomorrow on Sunday. We're going to stay here with Coach Porter Mosier a while longer. First question is right here. Dave?
Porter, you built a pretty good cushion by halftime. What message did you give your kids to kind of keep them settled and not looking too far ahead?
Just from the night before. Bradley came out smoking in the second half. We knew they wouldn't quit, that it's 20 more minutes, that the offensive glass, we had a game goal. We know they had 14 last night. We wanted to keep them 6 or under, and we kept them at 6. Those guys were talking about it in the locker room. The unfortunate part about it, 6, I think 4 of the 6 came off of free throws, probably. But we held them to 6 offensive rebounds when they had 14 the night before. So the message was that, I mean, they're not going to quit. They're going to come. We've got to string it together and grind it out for another 20 minutes. And I wanted to go to Krutwig. He's been so huge for us, and he felt awful. And it was just one of those, pin in the balloon plays when we had a great possession, the entire possession, and the kid's ready to launch up a 25-footer at the halftime, and then he fouls them with point whatever seconds. So it was one of those moments that it was kind of a little bit of so we were kind of coming, hey, and that's why I wanted to go right to him second half. First play, we went right to him. He drew a foul, missed an and one, but we wanted to give him that confidence we were going in. But I just knew Bradley wouldn't quit. Just too well coached, too tough of kids.
Coach, I just want to ask you about the no finish line motto that the players talked about. What made you want to implement that, how it came about, and what effect do you think it's had?
I think it was about a month ago or so when we were starting to take first place in the league. Because the crazy thing about it is we started out this league 1-2, and then when we finally got the lead, all the questions I was getting from radios, media, and TV was about, like, what's it feel like now? Everyone's chasing you. And I just was like, we're chasing. So the other thing we've been talking about, we're chasing. We're the one that's chasing. There's no finish line. I mean, and then when we won the championship and got a share of it at Evansville, we were like, no finish line. And we just kept on mounting that there was no end of how much we can improve and where we want to go. And it was just, and it happens. We've been down for so many years, and all of a sudden we're in a spot where we're in first place. And I just wanted to mentally get the guys to the point where, like, hey, this isn't what our finish line is, to be in first place with 8 games left. Or the first place, or I guess you know what it was? It was right at the turn after 9 games. We were heading into the second 9, and everyone's like, what's it feel like to be you being chased in the second 9? I'm like, I don't feel like, we don't have any championship banners in the Missouri Valley. We don't have anything. So we were just telling our guys about, we're chasing. This is what we're chasing, and there's no finish line. Being in first place in the middle of this wasn't what our finish line was.
We have 7 minutes to go in this session. We have 3 questions up. Go.
Hi, Porter.
Hi, Tom.
Was that more of a typical Clayton Custer game?
Yeah, I thought he had a great game. 12 points on 9 shots, 4 assists, got us into a ton of things, and didn't let his ankle bother him. We didn't even talk about it with him during the game, and he had a confident. We went right at him at the beginning of the game too. He had a nice look at a 3, but I loved his bounce. I loved his mentality, and you know what else I loved about him? And this is even like Dante. Dante struggled in the second half, and he was like, after the game, everyone was so excited. Last night in the hotel, all the questions the kid get is, what's wrong with Clayton, what's wrong with that? And the kid's bouncing around like, leading in the film room, they were rolling out in the hotel, and he's bouncing around like you would have thought he was 10 for 10 from the field. Awesome.
Question over here. Thank you.
Yeah, Porter, your stars did their thing, but I thought Williamson, though his numbers didn't show much of anything, was a big contributor today.
Huge. And he, even last night, he was 0 for 4, but he got some big things, and he made those 2 free throws to put us up. I thought, and the numbers don't show with Bruno Skokna, but he had 3 big in-traffic rebounds, we kind of call them. It wasn't like a free throw off a free throw check and everybody ran back and it fell in his hands and he's padding the stats. He got 3 in-traffic rebounds, and I thought he played, he had 1 block, 1 assist, 1 steal, and I thought he had 8 good minutes. Now, I wish he would have got him more, but he was able to give Ben Richardson some valuable time when Ben had 2 fouls. I thought Cam Satterwhite did a nice job. He made a couple nice plays. But Lucas is like, we were just joking. He's like a little Ben, he's Ben's protege. He makes so many tough defensive plays. He'll step up and make a big shot when it was. But Lucas had 6 rebounds. He put his nose in there. He really defended well. Like when I watch Lucas on tape, I see the same things at that age that I saw in Ben. Just gritty, really good feet. And Lucas is a little protege of Ben, and I thought he was big too, Harry.
All the way in the back, Porter.
Porter, when you're in a tie game or one possession game late. How confident, how comfortable are you that if nothing else, you'll at least get good decisions, you'll see good decisions made, that they'll meet the moment, the way you want them to?
I'm very confident. I'm really confident that the guys that I 100% don't think they're scared of the moment. I think they're embracing it. I think they're going to play hard, play tough. So I'm very confident. We've had a ton of grind out games in these last 8 to 10, and that's the way it is in the Valley. It's every night, and we've just found ways to win in the last 5 or 6 minutes, and you need to do that.
Coach, you called a timeout on the floor, 6.5 minutes left when they cut the game to 1, and then I think, Bradley only scored 1 point after that timeout. Was there anything schematically that you changed, or you mentioned the 5 stops, but was that just the players, or was that something?
No, I wanted it. I didn't like our defense, and I wanted to settle them down. But we've I think I said yesterday up here, one of the things I loved about the beginning of this Northern Iowa game was we didn't let our offense dictate our defense. I thought there was a stretch there, and that's why I called the timeout, that we were letting our offense dictate our defense. So I think we wanted to go inside, get a paint touch, and I think we went and got fouled. And I think it was Crutwig got one of the free throws, kind of just stopped the run. But it was to regroup defensively and just be like, all right, down the stretch, our defense has got to dictate the outcome of this game. Got to dictate where we're going. You can't because they were kind of hanging their head on a couple missed shots, and then we missed a switch on their triple play on the baseline. And I just wanted to regroup them, reload them, and just we're going to win this game by guarding and not letting our offense dictate our defense.
Under 3 minutes. Questions right here.
Following up what Steve asked you about just kind of guys embracing the moment or not feeling that pressure, and I know you've talked about recruiting guys who have won high school championships and been in those moments. Does that kind of tie into it, or is it just kind of the character, or I don't know, DNA of guys?
For sure. I mean, Dante Ingram. I mean, he played at Simeon. It was a big stage. He played down in Peoria at the state championship on a big stage. He played on the EYBL circuit, like the Nike thing. It's a big stage. Clayton, Ben, those guys did the same thing. So they've been on that stage before, and they embrace it. Dante's played a lot of minutes here. And so when you've logged in that kind of minutes and you've logged in, been their winners. But I think it's something when you recruit kids that have won before. I believe at least that's been part of my philosophy of building this, is kids that have won, that knows that it might be a loose ball, it might be a rebound off a free throw, which we got a big one at Evansville. Lucas Williamson got an offensive rebound on a free throw that was like a huge separation one, and we're all yelling intangibles. Because when winners come up with intangible plays. And so I think that is a big part. At least I'm embracing that part of it, and that's a big philosophy in our recruiting.
Final question right here.
I know you go back and forth between Andre Jackson and Crutwig in all season, but it seemed like especially tonight there was back and forth. How are you deploying them, especially in the second half?
Some of it's matchups. I think it gives us 2 different looks. I mean, Andre can really drive you from the perimeter and everything. Crutwig gives you this big. So I loved how we've always been small ball here, and all of a sudden we got a chance to go big and small. But like let's say it's a media timeout or it's a dead ball, and they subbed in and they were putting Thomas at the 5. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for Crut. So sometimes it has to do with matchups defensively, and it's a little bit of chess match because all of a sudden we'll be on offense and we'll throw them in because then they got Dante had 4 fouls. He had 4 fouls. We're like, let's go into Crut. So it's a little bit of a chess match, but I love the flexibility. I love the flexibility of having both of them, and it gives us 2 different looks. I thought Dre had some really nice some actions in the first half.
Thank you, Porter.
All right, thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.